If you watched part 1, you already know what happened to Fela in London. You know about Sandra Isidore. You know about the moment a woman handed him the writings of Malcolm X and Fela the musician began to die, so that Fela Kuti the revolutionary could be born. He came back to Nigeria with Afrobeat, with fury, and with a target. But what you saw in part 1 was just the ignition. Part 2 is where the fire spreads. Fresh from America, Fela lands back in Lagos and he is already moving. He has studied the Black Panther movement up close. He has absorbed what it means to not just resist a system but to build an alternative to it in plain sight. He does not just make music anymore. He builds a nation inside Nigeria. He names it Kalakuta Republic. It has its own flag flying every morning in the sun. It has its own laws written by the people who live there. When Nigerian police show up at the gates, they are turned away, denied entry, not negotiated with, not appealed to, denied. These are armed officers of a military government, and Fela looks through them like they are not there. Understand what courage that requires in 1970s Nigeria. This is a military government with a long history of making people disappear. The shrine becomes the second pillar of everything he is building. Every night Fela takes the stage. The crowd packs in from across the world because what happens at the shrine is not a concert. It is a reckoning. Fela names names. He describes police beatings and documents corruption that the newspapers were paid to ignore. He takes the crimes of the state, sets them to irresistible music, and makes thousands of people sing along until the truth is lodged deep. Zombie drops and the government's worst nightmare becomes a reality. 12 minutes of Afrobeat that reduces the military to exactly what it is. Men who follow orders without question, who beat without conscience. The song spreads through Lagos like a fever. Coffin for head of state comes next, and Fela does not bother with subtlety. He addresses the head of state directly by name. Kalakuta Republic keeps growing. The compound feeds the hungry. It houses artists and shelters women escaping abuse. That is what terrifies them most. Not the music, the proof. Then February 1978. Fela marries 27 women in one day. The outrage is immediate. The press calls it madness. Religious institutions call it immorality. Government officials use it as ammunition. But Fela is saying out loud that African culture does not need European Christianity's approval to be valid. Your colonial rules do not apply here. It is not ego, it is sovereignty. And by now the government has been watching. The compound, the songs, the crowds, they have been planning. Because what Fela Kuti is proving every day is the most dangerous idea any government can face. Freedom is possible. Right now, something is coming. February 18th, 1977. Part 3 drops tomorrow. Subscribe to Tale Sanctuary right now. Comment Kalakuta, did Fela go too far?